Thank you for having me. I was telling Sue earlier that to get me to speak, it's like saying mush to a husky. So I'll do my very, very best to do about 25 minutes and leave us 5 minutes for talking at the end, questions and things of that nature. We're going to talk about the brain because, well, as chiropractors, we believe something. Actually, we don't believe it. We know it to be true. Your brain controls everything in your body. So your brain's got a tail. It's about this long. And then after that, there are these fine wires that go to every other cell of your body, all the way to your toenails. And what we do as chiropractors, we evaluate the periphery and make sure that these guys can send happy signals back to central command, where your central command says, everything's all right. So as we talk about neck pain, shoulder pain, back pain, that kind of stuff, you can't start that without talking about the brain, and actually a part of the brain called the cerebellum. And your cerebellum, it's got maybe a fifth, a quarter of the total mass of the brain, but it's got over half of the neural connections. And it handles input and then it handles output. It's a 40-to-1 ratio of stuff coming from the outside saying, hey, that's sharp, that's delicate, that's warm, that's round, to your brain where it recognizes it, and then it takes 40 good ideas and condenses them down into one, like, I'm going to throw a curveball. That's how that works. It's like a great big blender. So the part of the cerebellum that's probably the most important is this thing called the floccular nodular lobe. And I bring that up because it handles gut. You've maybe heard about the brain-gut axis. I got a gut feeling. This doesn't seem, Batman, this doesn't seem right. That's your gut talking to your brain. You've got more neurons in the gut than you do in the whole brain itself, which is kooky. That's how we eat something and we get sick. That's why we have an experience that makes you sick, your stomach. That's all part of our defensive mechanism. So your floccular nodular lobe handles your eyes. It handles your spine. It's kind of like your fish spine, and it handles your gut. All right? It's very important. Now, on top of that sits this thing called the vermis. And the vermis, where the floccular nodular lobe handles this way, your vermis handles this way. In a moment, we could do the hokey pokey, all of us, right? So this vermis in the middle, we'll just put a V on that for now. So the vermis handles back and forth extension, and it also handles proximal movement. So if I use fine motor, like I was going to write you a note, that's not the vermis. The vermis is proximal, tight. So that is truly hokey pokey, all right? Next from that comes something called the globus emboliform. We'll just go GE. That handles agonist and antagonist type of stuff, all right? And we'll bring this home in a minute, but I want to make sure that you are all junior neurologists with me and you understand why this stuff matters and why if I give you an exercise, what's that exercise actually doing? Oh, helping my muscles, but it's so much bigger. It's what my brain really needs. It's food for my brain. Oxygen, necessary. Glucose, necessary, but motion is as necessary as the other two. Absolutely vital. So globus emboliform, if you want to have your lunch right now or eat some potato salad, in goes the fork, your bicep has to bring it to your mouth, your tricep stops you from poking yourself in the face. And then your tricep brings it back down to the plate and you get some more. Agonist, antagonist, it happens in the neck, it happens in the spine, it happens in the elbows, it happens in the hips, it happens in the back, it happens in the knees. Anything that moves has an agonist and an antagonist, a start and stop, a gas and a brake, okay? That's this. Now, the super cool part about this is you got one other nucleus on the top of that cerebellum, riding right back here, and it's called your dentate nucleus. Now, does anybody remember Lindsey Vonn, the skier? Do you remember what she would do before she skied? You'd see her and she'd be sitting, waiting to get onto the launch ramp, and she'd sit down like this, and then she'd be going like so. Anybody remember that? She was visualizing her race. She knew she'd skied a warm-up, she knew where it was, she was picturing every part of that. Here's why. The dentate nucleus fires 1 to 2 100ths of a second earlier than the globus emboliform. What? Yeah, when you think about picking up a piano, think about it, you've just prepared your body to actually pick up the piano. So that whole idea of thinking something through, proper prior preparation prevents a poor performance. I think there's other P's in there, but we'll keep it clean. It's a family show. But anyways, if you think through what you're about to do, your brain just lights itself up and away we go. So why did I bring all that in? Well, because that's really cool and it makes me happy. And it's what I do with everybody I take care of. In fact, here's a really cool way to see how you guys do. Everybody put your arms up like Frankenstein. Everybody take one of their pinkies when I tell you, and you're going to take the pad. I'm sorry, I lied. You're going to take the tip where the flesh meets the nail, not the pad. And when I tell you, you're going to close your nose, you're going to close your eyes. And you're going to put it on the tip of your nose like this, right? So it's not a pierce, it's not a pick, and it's not a mustache. I want you to land on the tip of your nose. So close your eyes, one pinky at a time, touch the tip of your nose. Anybody miss? If you miss, that's a mess up in this globus nebuliform. It's actually very easy to fix. The first thing you do is put your thumb up. Hey, like Fonzie. And we're going to learn the Fonzie in a second. And you go, no, Dr. Pete, I will not forget to do this exercise, which runs the floccular nodular lobe. Yes, Dr. Pete, I will do it every day, which runs the vermis in the globus nebuliform. You do that every day, and look in the mirror and practice 3 times each side, nice and slow. You actually can touch your nose again. Who cares unless you get pulled over, right? You care because these tiny, tiny coordinated movements, you ever heard the phrase, how you do anything is how you do everything? These little coordinated movements are how the rest of your body moves too. So we're here to talk about back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain. That is such a simple problem if you just manage your globus nebuliform, all right? So, how do we get rid of back pain? Well, the best way is prevention. Like if you don't get it, then you don't have to worry about it. So that'd be step 1. All right, got that one off the table. Second, how do we manage that? Usually it's through managing our posture. Okay? So if you guys are desk riders and you sit and now you can already see that I'm turning into a knuckle dragger, or if you work and you're constantly, in a weird position, yeah, our posture matters. Just to show you, everybody take their finger like this. Everybody bend their finger back. Great. Bend it a little farther back. Great. A little farther back till you say, ouch. You know how you make that stop? Let go of it. Now I got a really kind of cool thing for you. Bend it back far, let go of it, and move it. See how much better it feels, like almost instantly? That's exercise. So if I can show you some stuff, some exercises for your spine, for your shoulders, for your neck, number 1, we got to address the posture. You want to try to be ears over your shoulders, shoulders over your hips whenever possible. Well, this is not safe. Your head weighs about 15 pounds. Just for fun, find something down on the shop floor or pick up your monitor or find your laptop and it's 15 pounds and you hold it here and put it out here. Or walk around with your purse out here for a while today. Or pack up your camera, carry it like this. See how that works for you? It's hard. So being in and being compact and being in this situation, that's the answer. The answer really is because we've got these curves in the spine. Looks just like me. Bends forward, bends back, bends forward, and then your sacrum's on the bottom. Cool thing about neurology is when we're born, first thing we do is that globus nebuliform takes over, and then that vermis takes over, and we start to extend. First thing a baby does is picks his head up. Why? Because it doesn't want to breathe through the blanket anymore. Up it goes. Second thing it starts to do is it starts to wiggle and roll. Okay, there's that other part of the floccular nodular lobe. Then it starts to move its arms. It's not writing poetry yet. It will someday, but it starts to move its arms. So that's that whole cross-crawling mechanism. Babies that crawl are more intelligent and healthier long run than babies that, my baby was supernatural. We just stood him up and he started walking. There's a reason that they walk like Frankenstein for their whole life and on their tiptoes and their fingers do this kind of stuff. Really wanna cross-crawl first because of how that wires up the brain and how that all moves. So the next thing that happens as you come here, second curve, and then they push themselves up, third curve, and this spring-like mechanism is actually very stable. More stable than being straight up. It's kind of coiled. All right,